John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hey there, John Ulzheimer in Atlanta traffic, always in Atlanta traffic. One of the funny things about my world is that there's no shortage of people who pretend to be experts on my topic. If you go on social media and YouTube, there's really no shortage of people who pretend to be credit experts. And one of the things I always get a kick out of is when these people kind of create words and terminology that doesn't actually exist in the credit reporting and credit scoring nomenclature. They've almost invented a phrase. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about one of those terms that really isn't a real thing, but you can find a whole lot about it on YouTube, and people standing in front of cars they don't own, parked in front of houses where they don't live, trying to sell people things that they really don't need. And that term is called an unmatched inquiry. What is an unmatched inquiry supposed to be? Because it's not really a real thing. An inquiry is absolutely a real thing. In credit reporting, an inquiry is a record of access into your credit report. So anytime any party, even you, pulls your own credit report, reporting agencies are actually required by law to maintain a record of that so that you can see that when you ask for a disclosure of your credit report. That's actually one of your rights, is to see a record of companies, or they're called persons that have access to your credit report. So for employment, for lending, for any reason at all, insurance underwriting, you have a right to see that some organization has pulled your credit report. And that is referred to as an inquiry. Inquiries, obviously, people freak out about inquiries. They have this kind of inflated impression of the value of an inquiry. An inquiry is the absolute lowest thing on the totem pole as far as the effect on credit scores. So in FICO's credit scoring systems, for example, an inquiry is one component of a larger category that in its entirety is only worth 10% of the points in your score. So an inquiry is almost a meaningless thing to discuss, and people are never declined because of inquiries. People never have bad credit scores because of inquiries. They're minimally important. So an unmatched inquiry is what some of these inventors are define it as: a inquiry on a credit report that does not include a trade line from that particular lender. Let me give you an example that I see a lot. So let's say that you have an inquiry from Navy Federal Credit Union on your credit report, all right? Navy Federal Credit Union, largest credit union in the US, fantastic organization. They service the military and their families. Great credit union. If someone goes and applies for something with Navy Federal Credit Union, and Navy pulls a credit report, and of course now there's an inquiry on the credit report. But there's no loan or credit card from Navy on that particular credit report. So the theory is that you were denied, because if you were approved, then there would be an account on that credit report from Navy. Well, not really. That's why it's called a theory. Theories are unproven concepts. I have a theory which is anecdotal, which doesn't actually mean that it has a basis in fact. Number one, you could have gone to Navy to open a checking account. Checking accounts aren't on credit reports. You could have gone to Navy to open a debit card. Debit cards on our credit reports. You could have gone to Navy to get a quote for an auto loan, but you never actually took out the auto loan, or you chose a different lender because you got a better rate from the other lender. Well, that doesn't mean you were declined by Navy. Or let's say you went to Navy and you wanted to get pre-qualified for a mortgage loan, and then you decided you didn't want the house, or you got a better mortgage interest rate from Wells Fargo or from a competing lender. Well, again, that doesn't mean you were declined by Navy. So this whole theory that because there isn't a trade line from the same lender that did the inquiry equals a denial is so factually inaccurate that it's almost comical. But nonetheless, that is a term that you find on the internet a lot, and that is how some people attempt to explain it. But then when I bring up all the things that I brought up, they get mad at you and they start yelling at you and they start calling you names, and it's like the loser way of trying to have a debate. Anyway, there we go. Unmatched inquiry, kind of like a unicorn, doesn't actually exist. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk again soon.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.tradelinesupply.com.